Okay. Wait. Here. So wait. I need to share my screen. Okay, amazing. So, perfect. Today, as I was telling you before, we're gonna talk about two things, like data analysis, which is the seminar, the webinar that was prepared for today, and it's a bit intense. But we're gonna discuss a lot. I'm gonna make a lot of questions for you to participate, because if not, it's super boring. And the second part is the webinar that was planned from last week, which is called Core Competence and Functional Skills, which is mostly related how you need to support your VPs elected during the transition, and why do you need to do that. Okay, so to start, first, I don't see your faces, but I would like you to have open mic, okay? Because as I said, I'm gonna be asking you questions. And the first thing is okay, why am we talking about that data analysis, and why why do you think that as an LCP you need to know about this? And you answer now, guys. What do you think? Whatever.
Like without data, we cannot see where are we in terms of operationals, and so we cannot move forward, and we cannot clusters. We cannot jump. So yeah, data is life.
Exactly. That's it. And right now, how good do you think you are in data analysis? How useful is the data for you right now?
Well, I'm in OGV, so it helps me so much. I'm checking everyday core, expa to see where am I, how many approval, how many accepted. So yeah, it I probably know so many things, but not all, of course. Yeah.
Okay, I'm very happy that you came up with that, because that's the first difference that you need to make. You're not gonna use the data in the same way as a VP as an LCP, and actually you won't even be looking the same data, neither with the same attitude, let's say. And what is important about this is not that much only taking a look at it as an LCP I'm talking, but actually what are you gonna do with that data? Okay, that's the part of the analysis. So first, data analysis and LTP. The first reason is because, as you said, data is reality. It's telling you how you are and how can you move forward. Okay, because it allows you, well done, it allows you to spot all the problems that you may have, or even if you don't have problems, your weak spots, and therefore can help you to create, to make effective decisions. Because we cannot take, as a CEOs that you guys are gonna become as LTPs, you cannot take decisions out of nowhere or just because you feel like, or because people told you. You need to make sure that the decision that you are taking, or the push that you're creating with your VPs, is gonna help you to increase your productivity or to achieve the goal that you settled together in planning. And it can also help you to predict results. If you play with the numbers and if you play with the data, it can help you to predict, to see what kind of results you're gonna have next week, or what kind of results you're gonna have next month, and therefore you can act on that. If it's a kind of result that you like, amazing. But if not, it is worse that your plans, you can put in place the strategies that you need in order to make to change the outcome. Because at the end, the LCP role is pure strategy. Yeah, you have the EP management and the public relations and okay, but when we're talking about operations, about operations, about front office, your role is pure strategy at the end. And how do you create a strategy? Knowing what is your reality, and knowing how can you use the reality to create the kind of local committee that you want. So next question: how often or what kind and what time lays you should check data as an LTP? Let's say core or expa or whatever. How often?
Every day or every week, maybe.
Every week for me.
Every week.
Hmm. Actually, it will depend the moment of the year. You need to check it weekly, definitely. You need to check it monthly, but also when you're gonna be planning, you need to check it by semester, okay, or by year. Like in your case, as your year is gonna be 6 months, it's gonna be one semester, so you should be checking what was the data during that time on on other years. Okay, we're gonna go later, like one by one, to see what kind of information can you take out of it. Okay. Okay, the main tools that we can get information from, the ones that we all know: expa, core, your planning tool, and this year we have the amazing tool that Geoprac did with the CXY master tool, where the data is automatically downloaded from core. The difference in this one is the data, or all the numbers from the first focus, from the beginning of the MC term. Okay, and on all the others you can play with the how do you say, with the time. Okay, so and actually that's the first thing that I'm gonna show you is coming back here. We're gonna pretend that this, I don't know, 3 weeks from now, and you're starting to do the planning. Okay, or you know that your LT planning is coming in a couple of weeks. What you as an LTP, even if your responsibility is going to be in your VP, okay, you should be aware of what are your historical data. What's the historical performance of your LT during the time that you're going to be LTP, and what were the problems that you had previously, so that you know you're always going to, most at the beginning, you're going to know more than your VPs, because you have like more strategy education. So you should know already what kind of direction you should push your VP. How are you gonna do that? First, we're gonna go, for example, here to core. Okay. So I was playing before with some numbers, and we're gonna check the semester. Let's say your term is gonna go from the 1st of July, we said, until the 31st of January. So we want to see how one of your committees performed this last winter peak. Okay, from that, what I'm doing, I don't know what I'm doing. 1st of July, but the 2018, cool, until the end of the winter peak, which is 31st of January. Okay.
But we are in 19, right? 1st of July, 19.
Yes, but that haven't happened yet.
Oh, yes. Oh my God,
So we're
sorry.
looking
Yeah,
at the data. We're
yeah,
gonna
right.
how was your committee during the last winter peak? Okay,
Yeah.
for you to know what were the main problems that you had, the main successes, and what kind of actions can you take to ensure that you have a good winter peak while you are LTP, because that's super important right now actually for you, because it's the only peak that you're gonna have. Okay, so we have the dates. Let's go to Lille, for example. Okay, we see we're gonna ignore all the incoming. Okay, we're gonna go first applicants through all this time. We have a lot of applicants, mostly in OGV and OGT. Yes, but if we see later the conversion rates to accepted, we have to OGV quite okay, around a bit more than 50%. It's not bad. To OGT, very few, and to OGV, OG only one. Okay. We keep going. Approved. 30 GB. Here we are like crashing a lot. We're losing 10 people that was accepted, and you couldn't convert. Okay. And on the other side, like for the accepted OGT, OGE, like 100% conversion rate. What's that telling us? That OGT, OGE has a potential, mostly GT, because like we have the interested people. Maybe we just need to increase, like to work in IR, because the kind of profiles that we're getting is not the kind of profiles that the world, let's say, is asking for us, because they are not getting accepted. That's the first conclusion that we have. So the first thing you as an LTV you need to think is, okay, as GT, if I'm gonna have GT department, that for example, let's say for you is your case, I need to ensure that my VP is gonna work very hard in IR to ensure that this gap between apply and accept it doesn't happen. Because when it's accepted, the VP is interested. There is a very good management over there because everyone is approved, the same as OGE. Okay, so that would be like the first conclusion that we can take. If we move to OGB, we see that there is a problem with IR also. Why? Because normally we know that GB is quite easy. If we work with a very good IR, it's quite easy for them to get accepted. So this is not bad, but you can get, as you're aiming always to improve, you can improve it a lot. Which means as you need to ensure that your VP or GB is gonna be working very closely and and it's gonna have like a very good communication with all the IR partners. And therefore you need to ensure that your marketing are only gonna be promoting the opportunities that your IR partners. So all your applicants will get accepted over here. Okay, that's the conversation that you need to downscale to your VP. What else? If we move next to on the customer flow, we see over here, okay, the 23 accepted to the 13 approved. What is telling here? What these numbers are telling us is not bad. It's around 50%. It's quite good. But in order to improve, means that you can improve the conversation of the management of the EP. Okay, what means that probably your VP and therefore the members need trainings on how to communicate and how to sell on the phone to make sure that the EPs get approved. How? Normally, this gap is there's a lot of problems, of course, but in a lot of cases is because the EPs procrastinate a lot because there is no urgency from the EP manager side, or because back on the marketing, back when he did the application, the expectations with the EP wasn't properly set. So you as this is telling you that when you go tomorrow to plan with your VP, your numbers and your strategy and everything, you need to ensure that your VP, at least during the first couple of weeks, is gonna deliver a lot of trainings to the members to ensure that they know how to do an amazing EP management, not only in terms of contacting, but in terms of selling, and in terms of how to ensure that these 23, at least 20, job need approved. Okay. Until here is clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So here we're still on the semester, kind of looking. Let's go to expo. Okay. Okay. Out. Toulouse. I wanna continue the same logic. I'm gonna keep going with Toulouse. Okay. Entity. Lila. Come on, expo. Come on, expo. Well, you know that you come to expo.org. You come over here and graphic analytics. Okay. Here we're gonna look what kind of marketing made all those applications happen. Okay, over the time, because here like we start in consideration. We don't have anything of how we arrived to this point. And that's something that when expa works, sometimes it can tell you. Okay, so I come back, graphic analytics. Okay, entity. Okay, time period, custom range, because I want to select it. And I want to check exactly the same thing, which is from the 1st of August. No, I put July, no? Yeah. From the 1st of July. No, and here no. Nice. To January. Okay, I'm looking exactly the same time period. GB, outgoing, entity. Come on. Lil, amazing. And this is gonna show us like well, all the different things that we can find here. Right now, I'm not interested in all of this. Okay. Like this, I have everything. We can see what's the outcome all over the months. I wanna see only applications and approvals. No, I'm doing the other way around. Sorry, like this. Like that, we are removing it. Okay, when it's white, it's removed. So here, what's I'm telling you? First thing that you need to notice over here, we have 154 applications, while core is telling us that we have 34 applicants. What this means that each applicant is applying to a lot of opportunities, to a lot of them. This is people. This is the opportunities they're applying for, which means we're losing a lot of time processing all of this, contacting. This means like there's 154 persons or times that I need to contact my IR partner or the OP manager from the other country. So it's a lot of huge waste of time, meaning you as an LCP need to ensure that your marketing strategy with your VP marketing it needs to be efficient, and that you're gonna put a rule, for example, with them that each EP cannot apply to more than, I don't know, 3-5 opportunities. Stops. Because if not, your members are going to be losing a lot of time processing all of this. That would be the first thing. Later, we see that it's super clear when we have this, the blue one is the applicants, when lead received applications last year, which is, well, this is like 3 applications, sorry, it's like probably this is only one person. Then in September, something happened that they did a bit more. October, it was a couple of events, or I don't know what, that performed quite okay, and then go down during the period of exams normally, and so on. Okay, I'm interested to know what happened mostly like over here. So I'm gonna see weekly. Okay, here, like I would like to know what kind of events last year were done during these 2 weeks. If it was something online, if it was something offline, if it was like what kind of that of a strategy, of what kind of event, sorry, because it's one of the things that work the best for your LC. The ones over here, whatever you didn't work, because you can do an event and have 3 applications or 4 applications, which means you should go either to the VP marketing of last year, either to the planning tool or the annual report, if you have something like that, to see what events happen here in order to see what went wrong and make sure that your VP marketing does not repeat that, and see which ones you did here, these 2, if it's something, an amazing post online or a huge event on offline, the same as here, because they worked. They are not super amazing, but they had it's the best things that happened during last year, which means if you take these 2 events and improve them and replicate them starting in September until the end of your peak, you can ensure that these 4 peaks, sorry, that you can see, you replicate them like higher at least twice per month. And that can ensure you that you will have like more applicants and therefore can bring you more approvals. Because if you see over here, there's not exactly a very clear peak of approvals. It just happens a bit after one of the big events. Okay. So that would be the kind of thinking that you have to have before going to planning with your VP's operations, marketing, and CX and OGX, sorry, OGB in this case. Okay, because with this, you know, as an LCP, that you know that in your LC, you want this to happen. These 2 things to happen. First of all, ensuring that we replicate but in better these events, whatever they were. You need to research it, and that we can fix the first, the ratio applicant applications. Second, the conversion rate between accepted and approved, and between applicants and accepted with IR and EP manager training. That doesn't in this situation, that would be like the 3 main strategies that you can have before starting, and that you need to ensure that your VPs are gonna follow it and just putting it into place. Is it cool?
Yes.
Questions?
Nope.
You follow the logic, or is speaking too fast?
No, everything is clear for me.
Okay. Just stop me, okay? Okay, we're gonna go now. This is like the semester kind of part. We're gonna go to a monthly. What kind of things do you need to be checking monthly? Okay. So we're staying core. We're gonna check I don't know, April, for example. Oh no, we're gonna take another LT. But April of this year. Okay, let's imagine that you are the LTB of your LT now. And April until the 1st of May. And this is something that you should be doing at the end of every month, or at the beginning of the month, whatever you prefer, to see what was the performance of your LT and the problem that your LT had during the last month, so you can put strategies in place to improve them on the following month. Okay. Okay, let's take someone that's not here, that has a lot of numbers. Let's check UDP, for example. Okay, imagine that it's the 1st of May and you're the LCP of UDP right now. What are the first things that that we can see here? First of all, they have applicants. Again, we're only checking outgoing. Okay, there's some applicants OGB, some applicants OGT, and very few OGE. The conversion rates, maybe you can see, is very good for OGB. Well, for OGT and OGE, well, quite. It's not. It's very obvious. It's not the focus because they're not processing that. And then to accept it, to approve this huge lab, which we're losing a lot of people here, a lot. Okay, so from here, me as an LCP, the first thing I'm gonna do is like to have a one-to-one with my VP OGB or OGX in this case, okay, or whoever is in charge. And that's something that you should be having every month. So to discuss, okay, the problems, first of all, is to answer, like, okay, explain me these numbers, like why. First of all, also with marketing, by the way, because like, hey, April is a peak month, so how come that we only have these applicants? Like, if everything goes super fine, this means we're losing our peak already because we're not having enough applicants over here. So let's go again to the planning tool, and let's check from the marketing side what are the big points of the events that we did and how happened, in order only to have those. Once we go to the consideration side, okay, check what the strategies that we're doing over here to have nearly a 100% of conversion rate in OGV between applied and accepted, to make sure that whatever it was done, we keep doing it. This is something that we cannot lose. So make sure that your VPC OGV keeps doing with their members exactly the same things in this part of the customer flow. Okay, on the yeah, that's from one side. And then there's C, like, and here you can go like EP by EP because it's not that much with your VP to see like what happened. What happened? It was like really that you had a very bad EPs that like visa and banks and exams or I don't know what happened, or if not, like put like in 3 days from now a training to with the members to call EPs, in this phase and from the beginning for the expectation settings part, because this is something that just not to be uh, you cannot tolerate, let's say, okay, in a second month in a row, because you're losing a lot of people that were accepted already. So that would be the things to discuss with your VP to make sure that in May we don't have this problem. Then one thing that can be interesting, imagine that you only have that you focus on OGV and you're only working with OGV and that's it. Okay, you're seeing that without doing not that much, you're having GT applicants. Okay, so maybe it can be interesting to put only one person in your LT during May to process these people. Okay, for OGT, just to have a talk with them, to help them to improve their CV, and ensure they can get not all of them, but some may be accepted, looking on the opportunities that there are. Okay, could be like a first step to see if you have a market of GT for, I don't know, for the following year or the following peak or whatever. But only with these numbers of applicants for May, like in April. In May, you shouldn't put more than one person. Only to do this, because your focus is still LGV and you have this big accepted approved problem to solve. That would be the first thing. And then after that, we do exactly the same thing. We go to Expat to check the timeline. We set université de Paris, time period, custom range. We are checking in only April. This good. I. It's good. Okay. So we see, first of all, that the approvals came in 2 moments only. Second, the same thing as before. Here, we had 36 in total, well, 30 without incoming applicants and 60 applications on GV. 15, 60, which is a very big rate. Which means, again, like the same as on the semester, on the lead case, you need to talk with marketing and to make sure, or the first step of OGV, to make sure that each applicant is not going to apply more than 3 opportunities or so. Okay. This over the month, what does it tell me? Wait, I want the week again. What is telling me? Okay, we see here the 4 weeks. It says that super clear. We did for different events. Okay, you need to go to the planning tool again to see what events they were, if it was something online, what something offline, and talk to your VP marketing to explain you what are the good and the bad of every event, because this one is something that you want to replicate. The one over here in May, the 4 events that you're going to have in May, to replicate the 4 of April, you want them, all of them, to be like this one, not like this one. Here, something happens, someone screw up here, because after this big success, this is it decreased here a lot. So a call to action to your VP, or maybe there was 2 different persons in charge. So let's keep the person over here, or let's the person that was in charge here to teach to the rest of the persons that is gonna be in charge of the events of May. However, like your objective is, now that you have this one big, to keep improving from here. So take this event as the point to keep improving, as the minimum, let's say. Okay. And for that, like, analyze things as like, what was the target? If you really wanted 16 applications, or if it was more or it was less, what kind of people attended the event, was the theme of the event, what kind of opportunities you were promoting over there, which members were there, like if actually those members were educated on selling or not. Like, identify what was good here and what went wrong or not that good on the other 3 events that you had. So you ensure that, say, that the events that you're going to have in May is going to be as good as these ones for sure. Okay, and then once that's settled with him, with your VP, the only thing that you need to do is to track him to make sure that those improvements that you agreed together, the VP is actually making them happen. Yes, that would be for the monthly analysis. Is it clear?
Yes.
Questions?
Nope.
Do you agree? Do you understand? Or I'm talking like very randomly?
It's so clear.
Okay, cool. I'm happy to hear that. Okay, we're gonna go now back to the PPT. Okay, to the weekly analysis. Okay, and from that, mostly we're going to be working with the planning tool. In this case, what I did is I took examples of LT's random months of the replanning tool that we're using. Okay, because this is what's going to allow you to take decisions and to put your VPs week by week. Okay, in a very quick way, let's say. Okay, here. Okay, so we have March. We're in March. With all the different measures, and this is the plan. Okay, for the moment, like, I don't care about achievement. It's only what kind of plan I'm letting my VP to do. Okay, what can I read from here? Okay, the first thing that you see here, this person is expecting to have 6 signups without any kind of marketing activity. So here, what you need to ask your VP is like, from where are they coming, those 6 signups? How are you gonna make them happen? That if it's yeah, like here you need to sit down, like, your VP marketing and your VP OGV, also to ensure that they have a good synergy, because this, as you know, this is a number that they need to put together. No. Okay, so first question, what these 6 signups are gonna be coming from? Because if it's no marketing activity, magic, maybe. Second thing, we know, like, these 3 accepted, knowing the kind of process time that we have in France is not coming from here, are going to be coming from previous weeks. Okay, which means these applicants, if they happen, are going to be over here or even over here. Okay, ideally should be same week or like next week, not later, but we know how it works. More, these 4 approvals, if we're working very well, should be coming again from these 3 accepted that are coming from the previous week. Okay, if not, from over here are coming these 4 approvals, which means you're risking 4 approvals for not having any marketing activity that's going to ensure these 6 signups and these 6 applicants that you're going to later be able to convert between here and here. That if we're aiming for a kind of good process time. Maybe it exists the possibility that we will have also to see what happened in the previous month in February, because if this like if it's like that we're doing it, these 4 approvals are coming from only this one accepted, or from these 3 accepted over here, which means these 4 are coming from 3 weeks in advance. Okay, but whatever the case, we are risking the beginning of the month with no marketing activities for these approvals over here. So here you need to say, hey, you VP marketing, what are you gonna do here? I don't wanna just have these 6 signups because, like, ensure me, do something to ensure me that these 6 signups and applicants are gonna arrive. More things that we can see over here. Good, we are starting to have 1 event per week, amazing. But something weird is that even if like those 2 weeks we improve the amount of signups per event, okay, the first week we have one event to have 12 signups, and the next week 1 event to have 16 signups. Then the 4th week we're decreasing to have the worst events of all of them, with only 11 signups and 4 applicants. Why? Normally, we should be learning from the previous events to keep improving the amount of signups and the number of applicants that we're having to have a better conversion rate and bigger numbers every time. So this is something that you have to tell your VP marketing, say, hey, why are we having this? Like, what's gonna be happening that with the same amount of event, we're gonna have less numbers. With the same amount of effort from your team, we're gonna create worse results. Let's fix this over here. Okay. The same, like other thing. Here we're aiming between signups and applicants an amazing conversion rate, like nearly 100%. All the signups I'm gonna be converting into applicants, which means this probably in the head of the marketing should be apply mania or something that in that line, you know. If that works, let's replicate it on the following weeks. Let's not change the strategy because we're playing here to lose people on the way, you know. Okay, so that would be March. Cool. Questions over here? Or any other like interpretation maybe that you can take out of these numbers from your side?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Cool. So now that's it. We're gonna see February, another month, another random month. Why? Okay. This should be covered. Imagine this is covered. Okay. Now I want this like to be a bit more interactive and to see what with this planning, what are the problems that you see right away.
This is not filled. And maybe what's the problem? Like for example, for the week 4, they have 0 events but 4 open, 4 applicants.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there's a problem here.
Mm-hmm.
And we can see like from the week 3 they have just 1 event and 30 opens, which is very good, but a very bad like conversion open applicants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like the people maybe they just do like a stand, but the people were forced to apply, but they're to like sign up but not to apply. They were not motivated to apply. So maybe like change the whole strategy.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Something else?
Like in the third week, there's 30 opens but two applicants, so there
Mm-hmm.
must be really miscommunication between EPs and EP managers. Like it seems like they couldn't sell it, so I think it should be fixed like inside the LC.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it's weird because there's two applicants, three accepted. How it's happening?
Probably these are coming from here and from, I don't know, maybe even later, you know. But it's a weird planning. Okay. For me, like the thing that calls the attention, like the first thing, is that we see that February, the focus that we're giving to February is attraction. And this VP plan only one event. Like normally that means that you're in this month you're gonna be like mostly doing attraction to generate leads for attraction boost. That's what I understand from here. And this VP is playing all his cards in one event, which means if he or she fucks up this event, you fuck up everything because you are counting your biggest amount of leads to come over here. It's only one event, so it has to be like the most amazing ever seen event in your life to be able to cover that. Second, um, first thing as before, this and the same as here, like this week, we're doing nothing in attraction and we just expect the opens to arrive. So you need to ask your VP marketing, like, what are you gonna do to ensure that all these um, opens happens? And second, like, why? First of all, this first week of February, why nothing is gonna be happening? Like me as an LCP, I'm super concerned that during one whole week my LC is gonna be stopped. Yeah, these three opens, but there is no marketing. Well, I really doubt that that's gonna happen, as we see later in Achieved that nothing happened. So this means like during one whole week, nothing happened in my LC. So here's an LCP I would be pissed to begin with. And then, as you guys were saying, like you are planning already like a very bad conversion rate. Like from the event to the open, amazing. But from these three people, only two applicants is a very bad conversion rate. Very, very bad. Even if we count that these four applicants, sorry, are also coming from here. Most probably, because these ones we can count on them because nothing is planned marketing. So this as an LCP, you need to ask him like, hey, recheck this. I don't.
Laura,
Yes.
I think Bennett tries to talk, but we cannot hear your voice. He just texted, "Can you hear me?" No. Well, I can't hear you.
No, I cannot. I can't hear him either. Maybe tell
I
him.
think he's texting right now. Yeah, he's texting right now.
Okay.
You see his message?
No, because I'm with the presentation. Wait,
Uh,
where are you? Where is he texting? In WhatsApp. Well, I'm not gonna open WhatsApp because it's broadcast.
no, not in WhatsApp. He texted from
In the
this
chat.
Hangouts. Yeah.
Why I cannot see it? I don't know.
Yeah,
Chat.
here.
No.
Okay. That's strange.
Actually, for me, I don't have Ben Met here. He's not even connected for me.
Oh,
Yeah, he
yeah.
just left. Yeah.
Laura, I have to go because I have to break my fast. And
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay, it's okay. Don't worry. Like it's getting a bit longer than expected. It's okay.
Okay. Good night.
Bye bye. Okay, so I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna try to finish super early, super fast. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was the first thing. Like I was saying about the number of events. That's about those about where are they coming from. Okay, the conversion rate that we're saying. Cool. And then let's pretend that right now you're in an EBM, etc. And these are the achieved. Well, here we know it's 0. I don't know, it fucked up with the things, with animations.
Can you hear me
But
now?
hello, Venmet, welcome back.
Yes,
Yes, we
thank
can
you.
hear you.
Sorry, I had some problem. I don't know what.
Okay, welcome back.
Quick question. For the first week, there will be no marketing strategies, but for the others, there will be, right? If I remember correctly.
From here,
Yeah.
what we can see is like marketing is doing nothing except this week. That's
Oh,
planning one event.
exactly. Okay. That's
Yeah. So me as an LCP, I would be pissed to say, okay, what are you bringing me these 2 weeks? First of all, because like we see that nothing happened. Obviously, these 3 opens that he planned to have
yes.
without events, it's incredibly impossible to have. So
Okay.
how are they gonna arrive? And as we saw, and we see later here in that shift, they didn't come. So this
Okay.
week, regarding front office, nothing happened on the LC. Nothing happened. So you should be pissed as an LCP. Then, okay, into the animation, cool. Case practice question over here. You are imagining that we are in the third week and you are in the EBM, and this is the updates that your VPs put on the tracker. What what do you see here, and what are the kind of decisions that you take for the next week?
Uh, about attraction.
About everything. Like you're in the
Well,
EBM and you're discussing the number. This is what happened this week. What do you do?
I would definitely push for IR and do one-to-one or weekly meetings to talk about how to sell the product, because it seems like they have so many clients but they couldn't sell the product. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it's OGV, and like GV, it's so simple to do IR with. So
Mm-hmm.
if I have good IR that I'm sure that they will accept directly, and
Mm-hmm.
if I can explain well to my members that how to sell the product, how to communicate, and how to focus on one project so they can sell it easily. I
Mm-hmm.
think it can develop.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What else? That's very good point. Focus on education to solve this conversion problem. What else?
I think I would do the same. Like the problem is, we do have opens, but they didn't apply, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So basically, like,
I we lost you, Benmet. Yep,
hello.
you're back. Yes.
I'm back. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What I will do is make sure that all the members in the ISEC Toulouse will contact everyone,
Mm-hmm.
and then making sure, like having an interview with them, not just on the phone, and giving them offers so that they could go and apply. Once they've applied, I will go to the IR and make sure they get accepted as much accepted as possible, and then so the fourth week will be for me concentrating more on going from opens to applies.
Mm-hmm. Yes. That would be one thing to work with the consideration team, focus on education and making sure that um, that those applicants happened, like through IR and so on and so on, and from the application then go to the accepted. But to my marketing, I would say, hey, do something next week. You owe me 15 applicants that you didn't achieve from this event that you told me, and you owe me these 3 opens, sorry, that you didn't give me, and these 3 opens that you didn't give me. We have 15 opens, and you promise me on the month 40. This is the monthly goal. Do whatever you want, but on the next weekly meeting, I want these 40 open, sorry. Because if not, we're fucking up the month. So move your ass, and here, in a
Okay.
later, I want to, like, an event every day. Nothing complicated. But I want to see that you move your ass and your team, absolutely, to bring me the 40 opens that you promised me. Because
Okay.
we're working, you already planned together with the VPOGX a very bad conversion rate, which means we need a lot of people. Because if not, if we're only working with 15 people, we need a very good conversion rate, and that's something, according to our plan, we're not prepared for. And education normally is something that takes time to sink in. You know, you're not gonna educate the members one day and the next day they're gonna be amazing.
Yes.
It takes time. So it's like, bring me this the 40, the monthly 40 or 25 that you're missing to achieve the goal, because we're in the last week. That would be like the biggest call to action from my side on the EBM of this week, seeing these numbers.
Okay.
Then, of course, kicking the ass of the VP OGX about what you two guys said, to say, hey, this is not happening. Like, we had one applicant here. Why is not accepted? What's happening with your IR, with your corporations? Why are not here? And if there is nothing here, it cannot be the approval, obviously. And hey, next week, I want the 3 approvals that you promised me this month. The ones of next week. So you need to be super fast on process time. To be super, like, work together with the events on marketing here, sit together to see what are you gonna do to make sure that all the things that are gonna happen here in marketing are gonna bring you on the same week 3 approvals. The 2 that you plan for the week, and the one that you haven't given me this week. So it could be like a super push. And I know this 4 week, I'm gonna need to support a lot my 2 VPs operation, marketing and OGV, to make sure that this happen at the end. Okay.
Cool. Okay.
So that's how it goes, approx. Okay. This I'm gonna go super fast. This is another month, April. Approval peak, cool, amazing. Amazing conversion rate, but probably knowing our process time, this is coming from the previous week. Okay, so what do we need to do? These 2 applicants, first of all, we start like very bad on the plan versus achieved. Okay, no, not very bad, sorry, like very good. We are overachieving the week. What is gonna tell me? These 2 applicants need to be accepted next week and to be approved next week, probably. So we cannot lose them. Okay. This one also, the third one over here, will be coming from previous weeks. But these 2, we need to convert into accepted to achieve the plan.
Hey, it's at Lille, right? It's our April. I remember this.
Can be, I don't know. I took random LTs.
That was an amazing month, really.
He's overachieved, super good. This is yours. Cool. So that's it. Like on the EBMs, you need to be checking like these updated numbers, plan versus achieve. Look what's the week gonna be, the next week's gonna be looking like, and ask your VPs to change their strategies accordingly to what they did this week, to ensure that these things that you planned happen on the following week. And that's how you're gonna track them on the strategy that they're gonna tell you. You're gonna ask, okay, how you're gonna make sure these 3 accepted happens, OGV person. Okay, no, because I'm improving. I have another 2 meetings with my IR partner. No. Cool, amazing. Hey, 3 days later, did you have your meetings? You know,
What?
the kind of conversation I need to have with during the EVM regarding these numbers with my VP or GV. Say, hey, next week we're here. We're in this EVM.
Yes.
Next week you're promising me 3 accepted and 2 approvals. Okay, which means are coming from these two people of this week, probably. Okay. So what are you gonna do to ensure that these two plus another extra from other weeks are gonna be converted into accepted? I'm gonna have, and you imagine you're telling me, or my VP or GV. I'm gonna have two calls with the countries where these people apply, and like that, I can ensure that they will accept them. Okay, cool. When? I don't know. In 3 days. Okay. So in 3 days, I'm gonna ask you, hey, VP or GV, did you have your meetings? How did it go? Are they gonna get accepted? Yes, no, why? No, no, no. And from there we can move forward. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Okay. Questions until here?
Nope.
No, all good for me.
Okay, amazing. So with that, I'm only like summarize the routine that because this looks like a lot. But the kind of a routine that you should have. First of all, check expa every day at the same hour. Like put yourself a time to check expa. Why? Why you should be doing that as an LTP? Remember, you are not VP or GX. As an LTP, why you should be checking expa every day.
To check if my VP is assigned to the EPMs,
Yes. What
and
else?
to see how many opens I have,
Yes.
and accepted, applied. Yeah, to check, to
Mm-hmm.
follow.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Something else?
And to plan ahead, like for the previous ones to say like, okay, this week we might have more GV, so we should focus on this. And that. So-
That on every day, not necessarily. Like you
Okay,
cannot
okay, okay.
plan like every day
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
it's not like no one is gonna be able to follow you. It's gonna be super hard. You're gonna create maze in your routine.
Okay.
This is mostly like the route to install your routine with your VP, as Edse was saying. Like here, to first of all, to ensure all your EPs, as you're gonna be checking every day at the same hour, and you should have a rule to have all the EPs contacted in 24 hours. Means that every time that you check, all the EPs should be contacted. That everyone, like your VP and your members, should be EP manager. Why? Because if it's only your VP, means that person is not delegating, which means at some point it's gonna collapse and you're gonna lose one VP, and that's something you don't want to. You need to take care of your VP also. So check at the beginning, of course, because maybe you don't have members and so on. But once we're after recruitment, we're on the term, in the middle of the term, check that your members, the team members, are assigned also as CP manager, and then you keep the track of the status, and if it's like for some days nothing have changed, check with your VP like, hey, let me see the EP tracker. How is it going? What happened? How can I support you to move things forward? So check expa every day at the same hour. Can be 9 a.m., can be 9 p.m. Doesn't matter. But try to be at the same time all the time. Check the updates on your planning tool every week. Why?
To be sure that VP is filled the planning, like, and
Mm-hmm.
to check what's going on with marketing and conversion rates, like process time. Not yes, conversion rates.
Mm-hmm. Exactly what we were saying. Uh, to be able first to keep your VPs accountable on their plans, to make sure that they are happening, what they promised you that they would do, and to take the decisions about the following week and to push them in the right way regarding on what happened this week for the following week to make sure that at the end you have the number of approvals that you plan together. What's what we're doing before. And then check core, for example, at the end of every month. Why?
To see the ranking and
Yeah.
That's what I do every day, actually. and and it's actually the same thing, like to see where are we.
Hmm.
And to see like for the past years, how did they perform and how we should do it.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. Like to check the previous year, but also this last year. If now I am the end of April, I'm gonna be checking April to see what things went good, what things went wrong, and what kind of conversation or meeting do I need to have one to one with my BB marketing or OGB to plan the following month, making sure that we're not having the same problems, that we're putting strategies and education things on place to make sure that we avoid the problems that we had in April, that the numbers are telling me that we had. Okay? And like that, you make sure if you do all this as LCP, you make sure that month by month, your LC is going to be going better and performing more and having better conversion rates every time. What at the end is what you're looking for to keep your LT more and more sustainable, more and more productive every time, learning from your previous mistakes. Okay?
Yep.
Okay. Clear? Questions? We close this part, and the next one I promise is like 5 minutes.
For now, all good for me.
Okay.
The same.
Amazing. Anyway, like from here on, you can ask me as many questions as you want, like until forever, basically.
Okay.
Okay, so we move to the second part, which is the core competencies and the functional skills. This is something super fast because it's something that you probably have heard before through conferences or webinars or whatever. And I think even in the LCP Academy it's a bit explained. First of all, team standards, what is it? We see in part of the building on the team creation, there is a team standard that's called core competence and functional skills. What that's together with mostly with transition. What is it? For that, we need to come to the competence model of ISEC, that I'm not sure if you have heard that in before or not, is divided in three different type of competencies, which is the core competencies, what they call mind, self-reflection with heart, and functional skills, which is the hand. We're going to be focusing today in mind and in hand. Why? Because it's the kind of knowledge that you mind is what you think, as it says here, like the logic um, of the action that you are doing and the decisions that you are taking. And this is incredibly important for us in LCP because, as we were saying, your role is pure strategy. You don't do that many things. You think and make them happen through your VPs, basically. And then functional skills, which is what are you doing? Okay. So, well, here's all the core competencies explained. And then the functional skills explained. As you see, this is mostly focused on the VPs. Okay, you say that they need to know marketing, they need to know time management, operations, sales, finance, information management, and so on. So having in mind that this part is part of team creation, and you are the responsible of your team, meaning you're the responsible of your EB, you need to make sure that your VPs receive the core competencies and the functional skills that they need, that you need them to have in order to have, in order to be able to perform, in order to be able to help to move your LT forward. What at the end is what you're looking for. Okay, and how are you gonna do that? Like through transition. So, first question. Any of you have done these two tasks regarding transition that they were due last week?
We need to write down, right?
Yes. You need to write them down and to submit them to this link with the list mission tasks transition.
I will do it. Yeah.
Okay. This is mostly like for why I'm asking this, because it's your responsibility regarding like precisely this part, okay, of transition and core competencies. Is your responsibility to make sure that your LCs, your LCVPs receive the best transition ever. Why? Because we do know that transition is one of the best bottlenecks that we have, and if they know more than you did when you started your term, when they do, you ensure that your term is going to be better than the previous term. Okay, so call to action. Think what kind of transition you want your VPs to have, and how can you make those things happen, and what are depending on the VP and depending on the function that they're going to be having, what are the functional skills that they need to have, and think who is the best person for that to deliver. Think big, think on the whole ISEC network or outside ISEC, to make sure that your VPs, the first day of their term, are incredibly well prepared, because you want to surround, as an LCP, you want to surround yourself with people that's expert on their field, so they can strategize with you, and like that you're going to ensure that a better and smoother, I'll say, and term. Okay, the your ideal state is that your VPs know much more than you do. So what you need to do as an LTV only is to manage and to track them, but they should know more than you. With that said, okay, what I'm giving you here, okay, is I'm releasing the transition tool for each one of the VPs. How? Da, 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 da. This stuff. Okay, here. Okay. So this is your LTP transition tool. I added this other tab. You have the timeline, you have the dashboard, which is your cool things. And then I added this new one here, LTP transition dashboard. Why? For you to know in what point in the transition your VPs are. Okay. This is an automatic dashboard that goes to their own transition tools. Okay. So you can click here, you have the links already, the 4 of them. And for example, here in marketing, it follows exactly the same logic as yours. Okay, you have the timeline with the deadlines, the webinars, the tasks that they need to do, the dashboard for them to follow, which is this one that's linked to yours.
We can share with our VPs like the transition started.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Like after this, you can share them. Everyone has it because the links are here. I put them before. So it's all
Okay.
yours to give into them. And then here are all the different parts that they need to go, exactly as yours. Okay. So the timelines are a bit different. For example, for OGT is a bit more delayed because right now there's only actually yours ETSE that has the VPGT elected. So here you can see that starts a bit later to give time for more people to have their elected and to have all these things. That doesn't mean that she cannot start doing things. And for example, in your case, that each VP will have like marketing and operations, means that those two persons will have to follow both transitions, like marketing and whatever product they are on. So your goal can start with the marketing transition. That's here. Okay.
Okay.
And this is gonna be actually like the first, let's say, the first tracking task that you're gonna have as an LCP, because that's it. Like, you want to have a very good prepared person. So just make sure that they follow, they do, and that they receive. And you need to ask from the world, from whoever you want, that as many knowledge for your VPs as you can. These are some minimums. If you think that this is not enough, amazing, go for more. As the best marketing, in this case, the best marketing person that you know, and ask to train your VP. Once you do, yeah, don't know, not here. Where's my tool? Here. These tasks, and you say, you select what are the things that your VPs need, VP by VP, find the person that can deliver to that. And like that, together with these tasks that you're gonna be making, and ensuring through your tracking that everyone is going to be following one by one, all day, not one by one, but up to date the transition. You ensure that the 1st of July, everyone is absolutely transitioned and super ready to face one of the most challenging periods that Isaac in France is going to be having with all the changes that you guys are going to be have to deal with. Okay.
Yes.
Amazing. So with that
Okay.
it's over. I don't know if you have questions, if you have comments. I'm so sorry to be 20 minutes late.
No problem. No
I speak
problem.
too much.
No, it's okay.
All good for me.
Okay, so then that means that like transition for UVPs for most of them will start with the first webinar on Monday. Okay, so make sure you transfer the information. Make sure everyone has their own tracking tool and the tool, and that's it. Just let me know if you need questions around the time, if you have feedback, if you have complaints, if you have feelings, if I'm scaring you too much. And yeah, you're LTPs.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Lara.
Yeah, thank you for your all effort and your time.
No, thank for you for being here, darlings. It means a lot that the work is for someone. Okay, wait, I'm gonna stop broadcasting. Hello, like goodbye, people of YouTube.